love my chime. Greetings, fellow yogis. It is time for your 60-minute Vinyasa flow class. I am Spencer. This is the lovely Amelia. And we are going to begin in Supta Baddha Konasana. What that means in English is that you're on your back, your knees are flared out wide, soles of the feet come together. We're going to take about 5 or 6 minutes and work on our pranayama, our breath, our intentional breath. So just begin by coming to a mindful meditative breath. Come to your yoga head, your yoga mind, allowing all of the upsets of the day, all the challenges of the day, all the stressors and anxiety of the day. Let it go. Acknowledge, accept, release, let go. Begin to engage the breath, activating your parasympathetic nervous system. The sound of your breath right now is quiet and soft. The texture of your breath is smooth. Being mindful of any internal dialogue that you're going through at this moment. Again, letting go of the day. Not thinking about what's going to happen after class. Just maybe staying with the intention of being mindful for the next 60 minutes. Staying in the room, whatever your room might be. Take 2 or 3 more final mindful meditative breaths. And now let's deepen our breath as we move into our Ujjayi breath. And now the sound of your breath is audible. And the texture of your breath is coarse. A snoring sensation. An oceanic sound. Visualize the waves beating up against the shoreline. Feeling the vibration of the air as it passes over the back of the throat, into the trachea, into the bronchi, lungs expanding, diaphragm dropping down in your belly, allowing those lungs to expand, allowing the rib cage to open and expand. And coming back to this breath during your practice when you need a little additional fire in your belly. Darth Vader sound. Take 3 final Ujjayi breaths. And as always, I invite you to extend and lengthen the exhale. Build lung capacity by lengthening the exhale. Final Ujjayi breath here. Make it your deepest, make it your longest. And on your next inhale, breathe deeply, but this time you'll pause at the top of that breath for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Mouth opens wide and exhale through the mouth, blowing out a candle about 4 or 5 feet in front of you. Extending the length of that exhale. Inhale. Pause at the top of the breath. Exhale. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Take 3 final deep cleansing breaths on your own, making each breath deeper than the last. Again, I encourage you to extend your exhale. Two final breaths here. Final deep cleansing breath. And remembering that during your practice, you have your mindful meditative breath, your ujjayi breath, your cleansing breath to come back to at all times. I think we just woke Amelia up, actually.
No, I just yawned. I was awake.
She took a little yawn there. I think we just woke up.
It's all that
I think
air.
we just
It's all
woke
that
her. I
extra
think we just
air.
woke her up. So from our Supta Baddha Konasana, we're going to move into a happy baby. So we'll lift the legs up tall, bring the knees out wide. You're grabbing the outside of your shin, or if you have the elasticity and flexibility, you can grab the knife edge of the foot, maybe rock side to side, flaring the knees out as wide as you can. Elbows coming to the inside of the knees if you have that ability, and pressing out on the knees with the elbows, opening the hip joint even further. You're taking your hip into external rotation. At the same time, you're bringing your hip into full flexion. If you're rocking side to side, come to stillness, hold here, and then begin to pull the soles of the feet down towards the floor, knees closer towards the floor. Again, working on that hip joint for 3, for 2, for 1. Knees come together, remaining in the air and bent. Arms come out to the side in a T, palms down, spinal twist. Let's take a right, legs come to the right, gaze goes to the left. You can see Amelia has the knees stacked well, the ankles and feet stacked well. Her hips are also stacked. She's pressing her left shoulder into the floor. Cervical rotation to the left. Upper thoracic rotation to the left. Lower thoracic and lumbar rotation to the right. Nice torque here of the spine. Activating the what are known as the intrinsic muscles of the spine, the muscles that help to rotate the spine. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, knees come up tall, and we'll take the knees to the left and the gaze goes to the right. So now the cervical spine and upper thoracic spine torquing to the right, lower thoracic spine and lumbar spine torquing to the left. Gaze over the right middle finger, pressing that right shoulder into the floor. It may not get there, but that's okay. That's just the direction you're going. Same with the right ear and the right cheek, turning the cervical spine if you can, bringing the right cheek and right ear towards the mat for 3, for 2, for 1. Knees come back up to the center. We're going to grab behind the thighs, under the knees, clasping the hands there. We'll take a couple spinal rocks forward and back, warming the spine up, paraspinal muscles here, 3 or 4 rocks. And after you've had enough, you'll find your way into boat pose, Navasana. Knees come towards the chest, thighs come towards the chest, balancing on the sits bones. Inhale. Exhale. If you'd like to open your arms to receive here, the arms can go out long, palms, maybe the little fingers rotating slightly inward, opening up the shoulder blades. And then if you'd like, you can straighten your legs out. You do that by contracting your quadriceps. You do not have to do that, But if you want to take it to that layer, you can. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. We'll lower the legs straight to the floor. Heels come to the floor. Set yourself up. Suck the belly button in towards the spine as we'll set up for our first forward fold. Inhale. Arms sweep up tall. Again, belly button comes into the spine, engaging your bandhas here, and then exhale, forward fold. Restorative fold here, so wherever your hands land is wherever your hands land is wherever your hands land. You don't have to go for the toes. If you can get there, great, but if not, that's okay. You can go for the shins, you can go for the ankles, you can go for the toes. Try to flex the toes back to the nose to engage the calf muscles, Achilles tendon, and bottom of the foot. Bend your knees as much as you would like here. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms sweep up tall. We'll cross the legs over one another and then roll over the knees. Find your way in your first tabletop. Hips over the knees. Feet can be toes can be either rolled under or flat. Shoulders over the elbows. Take a look straight down. Are your shoulders stacked right over your elbows? Are your elbows stacked right over your wrists? That's where they should be in this posture. Middle finger or index finger facing forward. We'll take a couple cow-cats here. So on your next inhale, you'll drop your belly down and gaze upward. Spinal extension here. And then on your exhale, you'll press into your palms, bring the chin to your chest, dome the spine to the ceiling for cat pose. Inhale for cow, belly drops, accentuate that lumbar curve here, accentuate that cervical curve. Exhale for cat. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Come back to neutral spine. We're going to move into a thread the needle. So from tabletop, we're going to ask you to raise that right arm up tall. Gaze at the fingertips as they go up. And then on your exhale, you'll bring that right arm through the opening, extending that right arm out long, bringing your right cheek and right ear to the floor. If you can't get the right cheek to the floor, that's okay. Grab yourself a pillow, grab yourself a blanket, and put it under there. Now, what do we do with the left hand here? Well, you can keep your left hand just bent in front of your nose, or you can extend your left arm above your head, stretching, lengthening, or if you would prefer, you can take a half bind here, bending the left elbow and bringing that hand behind the back, bringing that left hand towards the right hip. So in this posture, Amelia has her right shoulder, that's the shoulder that's under, into internal rotation. And she also has her left shoulder in internal rotation and adduction. So I have a little shoulder injury on the right side right now. So I'm having a hard time doing exactly what she's doing on the right side. Left side I can get up pretty good. Right side I can't get any more than here right now. So I'm having a problem with internal rotation of my shoulder. I'm working on it. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now bring your left palm right in front of your nose. And then gently, using the power of that left arm and shoulder, lift up tall. Sweep the right arm up. And back down to tabletop. Reset the spine. Inhale, lifts the left arm up tall. Gaze at the thumb as you go up. And then on your exhale, you'll bring that left arm through that opening, coming down onto the left shoulder, coming down to the left cheek and left ear if you can't get there. And it might feel different from one side to the other. Blanket, block, pillow. Right arm can be extended out long, so you're touching the side wall with your right fingertips, at least touching the side wall in our studio here. Or you can bind, should you choose, bringing that right arm behind the back. Again, we're now in shoulder internal rotation on the left side. And because Amelia is in the bind, she's in internal rotation on the right side as well. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Right palm comes in front of the nose, using that right arm to press you up tall. Sweeps the left arm up and back to center. I'm going to ask you to face the camera. All right, so we did internal rotation of both shoulders. Now we're going to go into an external rotation of both shoulders. So from tabletop, make your way onto your belly with your arms out into a T, palms facing down. You can flatten your feet here. Take the right knee and bend the right knee. And then take the right foot behind the left knee. You're going to be rolling over here, and you should feel a stretch in that left arm. Now take the right arm and take the right arm behind your back.
Like a bind?
Into a bind. So as you can see here, Amelia is basically lying on her left side. Her right foot is behind her left knee. She's in full left shoulder external rotation right now. Now, if this is uncomfortable, you can bring that right arm back onto the floor, and that's fine. As long as you still feel that opening of the left shoulder, we'll be here for 3 final breaths. This is not always the most comfortable posture, but we did do a full internal rotation with thread the needle, and now we're taking it into external rotation. Final breath here. And release. Right leg comes back to the floor, right arm comes to the floor. Now bend the left knee, take the sole of the left foot behind the right knee, roll over onto that right shoulder for external rotation of the right shoulder. You can leave your left arm out long, or as Amelia's just done, you can go behind and maybe take a bind. You feel that stretch in the left shoulder?
Oh yeah, a lot.
Okay. So this is a pretty intense shoulder opener. If you have shoulder issues, just be mindful and cognizant of how far you want to go here. This is a great rehab exercise for somebody that has shoulder issues or maybe recently had some shoulder surgery, because our shoulder doesn't go into this type of external rotation very often. Final 2 breaths. And release. Make your way back to tabletop. You're going to come back to the mat the way you normally are. Make your way back to tabletop. Shake it out. Shake the arms out a little bit. You just really took those shoulders through full internal and external rotation. You took it to its maximum. So shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. We're going to move into a tiger series. So from tabletop, you're going to step your right foot back and bring the ball of the right foot onto the mat, and then kick that right heel away from you. Pressing the ball of the right foot into the mat, kicking the right heel away from you, really engaging the bottom of the foot and the calf muscles, maybe even a little hamstring here. Inhale. Exhale, heel away. Inhale, lifts that right leg parallel to the floor. Hold here. Inhale. Exhale. And now inhale that left arm up, bringing the biceps of the left arm close to the ear. Thumb is facing towards the ceiling. And find your way into tiger pose. This is a balance pose. So you're going to engage your bandhas here. Those are your core muscles. You do that by engaging your bathroom muscles and engaging your abdominal muscles. Holding here. Now, if you are comfortable here, you can take this to the next layer. You do not have to. Next layer would be to sweep that right leg out to the side and sweep the left arm out to the side. and find your balance here. One day that right leg is parallel to the mat. Beautiful. Hold here. Find that balance. Find that strength in the core using your breath here. And then if you're comfortable here, you would like to go to the next layer, you can bend that right knee. Reach around with the left hand, grab the top of the right foot, kick into that hand, lift the right thigh. Now your gaze, your drishti point has now changed from down to up. So theoretically, you are looking at where the wall and the ceiling meet, opening the heart, taking this into a back bend for 3, for 2, kick, lift, and release. Right knee down, left hand down. We'll take a cow-cat to reset here. So again, multiple layers here. You go where your body allows you to go. You do not have to take every layer. You take the layers that work for you in your body, in this moment, in this time. Left side, kick the left foot back. Ball of the left foot onto the mat. Heel of the left foot kicking behind you. You're pressing your heel into the wall behind you. Hold here. Inhale. Exhale. Really feel that left calf and left Achilles tendon engaged. Inhale, lifts that left leg. Exhale, hold here. Balance. Engage the bandhas. And now inhale that right arm up. Right biceps comes as close to the right ear as possible. Fingertips of the right hand touching the wall in front of you. Heel of the left foot touching the wall behind you. Hold here. Inhale. Exhale. And then if you would like to go to the next layer, you sweep that left leg out long. Sweep the right arm out long, holding here. Find your balance. Drishti point is either down or right in front of you. Drishti is your focus point. Inhale. Exhale. And then if you're ready to go to the next layer, bend that left knee, grab the left foot with the right hand, and then inhale, kick into that hand. Lift that thigh, lift your gaze, open your throat chakra. Cervical extension, lumbar extension, hip extension on the left side. Inhale, exhale, kick. Press down into the left palm to lift up. Gaze is up for 3, for 2, for 1, and release. Find yourself in cat-cow. And then roll your toes under. We're going to find our way back to down dog. Hold here. Pedal the feet out. Swivel the hips. First down dog. Engaging all the upper body and lower body muscles here. Bending your knees as much as you need to. Trying to bring flatness to your back. We'll take a couple forward motions here. Let's move forward on our inhale to high push-up and hold here. Exhale, down dog. We'll do that one more time. Forward in the high push-up. Exhale takes you back to down dog. Now bend the knees ever so slightly. Peek to the top of the mat and either step or hop to the top of the mat. Find your way in your first standing forward fold. We did a seated forward fold before. Now we'll take a standing forward fold. They are the same thing, by the way. You're engaging the same group of muscles. Now, if you'd like to come in the ragdoll by grabbing your elbows one another, feel free to do so. Amelia's getting her hands onto the floor. That's fine. If you want to go for your ankles, you want to go for your heels, yogi's choice. Crown of the head coming towards the floor. Hips coming towards the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms sweep up, tall mountain. Hands come to heart center. Tadasana, mountain pose. Cleansing breath. We will set up for our sun salutations. We'll do one sun A, one sun B. We're going to straighten out our mats here. We got a slippery floor and a slippery mat, so we always have to readjust the mat about halfway or a third of the way through class.
Or 8 or 9 times.
Or 8 or 9 times through class. Yes, we do know that there are things you can stick under the carpet and stick under there.
Not working.
But we just haven't been able to figure that out yet, so we don't worry about it too much. All right, sun A and sun B. One breath, one motion. That's your vinyasa flow. Stick with my cues. If you get behind, that's fine. We're going to meet in down dog at some point anyway. When we do our vinyasa flow in the middle of our sun salutations, feel free to come down to your knees as we lower down in the chaturanga. Yogi's choice. Inhale, arms sweep up tall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Step the right foot back. You're in a runner's lunge. Inhale, lifts the heart. Nice straight line. Exhale, left foot back, down dog. Inhale, we'll roll forward in the high push-up. You can drop your knees now if you choose. Exhale, elbows in tight, lower down, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, feet flatten, press up into either cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, roll over the toes if you can, find your way in downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts tall. Exhale, we'll step it through to the top of the mat. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, left foot forward and fold. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, let's sweep the arms up tall. We'll bring the palms together and the heels of the palms together. Fingers come, hands come together. Release your index fingers, cross your thumbs. We're going to set up for our first back bend. Press down into your feet to lift up tall. Then press your hips forward, drop your head back, and make your way back into your first back bend. It is your first back bend, so be compassionate. You don't need to touch the floor. Go where you can. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Step the left foot back, you're in a runner's lunge. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, right foot back, down dog. Vinyasa time. Inhale, forward in the high push-up. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, flattens the feet, upward facing dog. Press down into the feet, press down into the palms, lift the thighs in your upward facing dog. Exhale, try to roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it through, top of the mat. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, right foot forward and fold. Inhale, shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeps the arms up tall. We'll set up for back bend number 2. You've been here once. You know where you're going. Press down, lift up. Press your hips forward. Drop your head back. Trace a line on the top of the ceiling. Then press the chest into the ceiling. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Tadasana mountain pose. So on our back bend, we're pressing down to lift up. That allows our spine to distract. We're pressing forward to allow us to come back. As we move back, our chest is imprinting itself onto the ceiling as we're tracing a straight line towards the back wall. All of that is happening at the same time. Think about one piece at a time. You may not be there at this point, but those are all the different things that go into really accelerating your back bend. We'll move into sun B now. We'll add chair pose, Utkatasana. Inhale, arms sweep up tall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins. Exhale, we fold and sweep our little fingers onto the floor and make our way into chair pose. Amelia has her arms up long. I have my arms out. Amelia has her arms up tall. I have my arms out long. Doesn't matter where you are. Sit back into the seat. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Step the right foot back into a runner's lunge. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, left foot back, down dog. If you want to take a three-legged vinyasa here, feel free to go there, no requirement. Three-legged vinyasa yogis, right leg lifts. Inhale, forward in the high push-up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, drops that right foot. Upward facing dog. Exhale, roll over the toes, lower, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step it through, top of the mat. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, left foot forward and fold. Inhale, shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lifts the arms up tall. We'll bring the hands and palms together. Back bend number 3, third and final back bend in this sequence. Now, feel free to go for it. Press down, lift up, press forward, drop back. Chest touching the ceiling, eyes on the back wall. Exhale, forward fold, other side. Inhale, shins. Exhale, fold, left foot back. Runner's lunge. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, right foot back, down dog. Three-legged vinyasa yogis, left leg lifts. Inhale, forward in the high push-up. Exhale, lowers. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it through, top of the mat. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, right foot forward and fold. Inhale, shins. Exhale, fold. We sweep our fingertips onto the floor and find our way in Utkatasana chair pose. Inhale. Exhale, sink. Inhale, right leg steps back into a lunge. Let's bring the right hand to the floor, inside of the left foot. And on our inhale, we're going to sweep that left arm up tall and take our twisting lunge. You can feel free to drop the knee of the right side onto the floor should you do so, should you choose here. You can keep the toes rolled under or you can flatten the foot. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Inhale. Exhale brings you back up. Hands come to heart center. Inhale. Exhale, right foot steps forward. We find our way in Utkatasana chair pose. Inhale. Exhale, sit. Inhale, left foot steps back into a lunge. Exhale, sink. Inhale. Exhale, left palm to the inside of the right foot. Inhale, right arm sweeps up tall and take your twisting lunge. Hips come down, kicking that left heel to the back wall, opening the heart. Gaze into the right thumb for 3, for 2, for 1. Bring yourself back into kind of a crescent lunge here. Inhale. Exhale, left foot steps forward. Sweep the arms up tall. Hands come to heart center. Tadasana mountain pose. Cleansing breath here. If you need a drink, this is a good time to take a drink. Wipe any yoga juice off of your chin, off of your forehead. Take 2 more deep cleansing breaths. So the next sequence we're going to move into, I'm going to tell you ahead of time. You can follow along. You can go wherever you want. We're going to do a stacked hips on each side. We'll do one side at a time. Then from a stacked hips, we're going to come into a fallen triangle. And then from fallen triangle, we're going to move into half pigeon. And then we'll move into cow face posture and full pigeon. It's not as complicated as it sounds. Just listen to my cues. Inhale, arms sweep up tall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, shins. Exhale, fold, plant the hands into the floor and either step or hop back into a high push-up. And then make your way into down dog. We'll lift that right leg up tall, bend the knee, and stack the hips. So she's bringing her right ankle towards her left glute. Her upper body remains in downward facing dog. Her right hip is rolled back as her left hip is rolled forward, stacking the hips. Inhale. Maybe gazing under the left armpit to see if you can catch a glimpse of the right heel. Exhale, straighten the right leg. Flatten the hips again. Inhale. And then exhale, you're going to bring that right leg through to fall in triangle. So both legs are straight here. Right leg is out long. Left leg is out long. Left hand comes up towards the ceiling. Chest may be facing the ceiling. You're pressing down into the right palm. Fall in triangle for 3. For 2, you can come onto your seat if you need to. For 1, inhale, we'll take that right leg back up tall. 3-legged down dog. Inhale. Exhale, bend the right knee. Bring the right knee to the floor behind the right wrist and the right ankle behind the left wrist. Extend that left leg back. Flatten the foot on the left side and find your way into half pigeon. So, in half pigeon, in a perfect world, your right shin is parallel towards the top of the mat. If it can't get there, that's fine. Don't worry about it. You're pressing your fingertips into the floor, lifting yourself up into a slight back bend. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward, bringing your chest towards the floor. If you want to fill up the spot between your chest and the floor with a blanket or a pillow, feel free to do so. If you want to fill up the space between your right hip and the floor, Amelia doesn't have too much space there, but if you have a lot of space between your right hip and the floor, stick something in there. Stick a block, stick a book, stick a blanket, stick a pillow. Arms can be out long. We're going to settle in here for about 5 or 6 breaths. I'm going to make my way into posture here as well. Now the modification for half pigeon is called deer pose. So if half pigeon is not working for you, you can keep your front leg the way it is, but bend that left knee and sit down on your right hip and then come forward over your shin. We'll take 3 final breaths here. Final breath. Begin to walk your fingertips back towards your body. Press your fingertips into the floor. Take that final back bend on this side. And then sit down onto the right hip. At the same time, you begin to bring that left leg around. And we're going to move into cow face posture. So the left knee is stacked over the right knee. If there's an enormous amount of room between your knees, put something there.
I have to lean forward to get into
Okay,
it.
however you get into it. So, pigeon pose, half pigeon, is a hip internal rotator. This is also going to internally rotate the hips. Now, if you're comfortable here, you can take the heel of your wrist, press it into the top of the foot, and maybe push the feet back a little further. Really taking those hips into internal rotation. I lied before. Half pigeon is actually an external rotation of the hip on the down side. Cow face is an internal rotator.
Raise your hand if you need that.
Now, if you're comfortable here and would like to take this to another level, you can begin to take a deep breath in and then maybe fold forward. We'll hold here for 3, for 2, For 1, if you're forward fold, begin to sit up tall. We're going to move into full pigeon. So here we're going to stack. So the right leg remains under. Shin parallel to the top of the mat. Left leg comes on top. So now our shins are stacked. Left foot on top of the right knee. Left knee on top of the right foot. For full pigeon. Back to external rotation. Half pigeon, external rotation. Cow face, internal rotation. Full pigeon, external rotation. So you're getting a nice full range of motion, at least in the rotation portion of the hip joint here. And if you're comfortable here and would like a little more, you can begin to bring the hands down to the floor. Walk the fingertips out, maybe coming down onto the forearms, maybe bringing the chest to the shins. Really feeling those hip joints open up. Take a few more breaths here for 3, for 2, for 1. Begin to walk your hands back if you're forward fold. You can release the bind on your feet. Find your way back into tabletop. Press back to down dog. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. You gave those hips a good workout before we move to the opposite side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, bend the knees, stack the hips. You'll see this from the other side with Amelia now. So now her left knee is bent. Her left heel is approximating her right glute. Downward facing dog in her upper body, and her hips are stacked beautifully. Maybe gazing under the right arm to see if she can catch a small glimpse of her left heel. Inhale. Exhale, lengthens the leg. Inhale. Exhale, we'll bring that left leg through the opening, taking ourselves back into fallen triangle. She's on the outer edge of the left foot. She's on the sole of the right foot. She's pressing down into the left palm. Right arm opening and extending. Chest pointing towards the ceiling for 3. You can come down onto your butt if you need to for 2. For 1, begin to release that posture. Left leg shoots back up tall into 3-legged down dog. Inhale. Exhale, left knee bends. We'll bring that left knee behind the left wrist, the left ankle behind the right wrist. Right knee drops to the floor, flattening the foot on the right side. Leaning forward on that right thigh, opening up those hip flexors. Fingertips into the floor, tenting into the floor. Push yourself up into a back bend. And then on your next exhale, begin to lean forward. Chest comes to the shin. Again, you have the option of filling open space here with any props that you have available. Usually that left hip might need, or often that left hip might need some support. Key ingredient here is see how nice and flat, if you can look here, see how nice and flat her hips are. A lot of times we'll see something like this where one hip comes up tall. So we want both hips to be nice and flat. So if I placed a plate or a platter on here, it would be flat. Shoulders are nice and straight and flat as well. Arms are out long here. You may not be able to get that far. That's fine. The more open the hip becomes, the further down you'll be able to get towards the floor, and the further out your fingertips will be able to go. But that all comes from the hip motion. How open is that hip on the left side right now? That's where that ability is coming from. Inhale. Exhale. We'll take a few more breaths here. Just settle in. Trying to find ease. Can you do a little bit less right now and get a little bit more benefit? What breath are you using right now? Are you in an Ujjayi breath, or are you settling into a mindful meditative breath? Are you feeling overwhelmed and challenged? Or are you feeling accepting of yourself? That's what yoga is about. It's not how pretty the posture looks. It's about moving from one step to the next, to the next, to the next. Final 2 breaths here. Begin to walk your hands back towards your body. If you want to turn and face the other way, we're going to move into tense your fingers, press yourself up one final time, and then drop the left hip onto the mat. Sweep the right leg around. Left knee remains bent and on the floor. Right knee comes on top. Amelia's moving into tabletop to get into this. That's a great way to do it. And now
Yours is so good.
Her
You should
right
do
knee.
it.
What's that?
You should do it.
Her
Yours is
right
so
knee.
good.
Her right knee is stacked. So I'm going to show you how to get into cow face posture from tabletop. I'm taking my right knee, taking it just behind the left knee, opening up my feet, and then just sitting back.
Look how good that is.
Look how good that is. Thank you. I'm stuck now. I can't move. Anyway, so now my left knee is stacked over my right knee. Maybe one day these knees are perfectly stacked. Maybe they're not. Maybe one day the knees are touching one another. Maybe they're not. Who cares?
Who cares?
Okay? If you're comfortable here, you can take the heels of the wrist, press it into the top of the foot, giving yourself that much more stretch. If you're comfortable here, want to take a forward fold, feel free to go there. Inhale. And you might feel a difference from one side to the other. Exhale, depending on your own personal hip anatomy. Inhale. Exhale. If you're forward fold here, sit up straight, and we'll move into full pigeon. So that left leg remains flat on the mat. The shin of the left leg is parallel to the top of the mat, and then you're going to stack the right leg over on top so that both shins are lined up perfectly. Your right knee is over your left ankle, and your right foot is over your left knee, something like that.
It's like Twister.
And now you should feel that full external rotation of both hips. If you're comfy here and want to lean forward, you can bring your hands to the floor. Maybe walk your fingertips out. Maybe bring your chest to your shins and hold here. Take a final 3 breaths. Begin to walk the hands back if they're out long. Release the legs out long. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out here. We're going to take that left leg out to 45 degrees. And then we're going to take that right knee, bend the right knee, bring the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Jana Jandrasana. Inhale, arms sweep up tall. Actually, before we do that, so the sole of the right foot is touching the left thigh, if possible, as close to the inguinal region as you can. If you have a lot of space between your right knee and the floor, use your prop and fill it up. Now, inhale, arms sweep up tall. Take a slight twist to the left and exhale, fold forward. If you have a strap or a tie or a belt that gives you a little bit more lengthening here, you can use that to grab hold of the foot. Amelia's able to grab her foot. She's able to bird nest her fingers underneath. You can bend the knee should you choose here. We're thinking about bringing the head to the knee. We want to drop the right shoulder down a little bit. There you go. I don't care how far your hands are on the leg. What I do care about is that both hands are in the same spot. Otherwise, that's going to tilt the spine and tilt the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale lifts up tall. Now we're going to take that right leg and we're going to extend it out long and then bend that right knee so that this right knee comes behind you. There you go. Okay? So she has the right knee bent, left leg out long, and if you can see, her right heel is coming close towards her butt. Inhale. Exhale, we're going to grab the outside of the left foot with the left hand. Outside of the left foot. Knife edge of the left foot with the left hand. And then we're going to sweep that right arm up tall.
Up, straight up?
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll begin with that right arm up straight, fingertips touching the ceiling. And if you're comfortable here, you can begin to sunset that right arm. And for some of you, you may be able to grab that foot with the right hand as well.
Nope.
Okay, if you can't, that's fine. You want to try to turn your cervical spine so you're looking towards the ceiling. You should feel a nice stretch in the inner thighs, but also, yes?
No, I feel it where you're about to.
Also, right in here, that right side body. There you go. See, she melted into that. She wasn't able to go for that foot initially, but as her right side body opened and she lengthened, she was able to feel confident in going for that foot with her right hand as well. So that's okay. That's the beauty about the asanas, is that you get into the posture as quickly and as efficiently as you can, and then from there you move forward based on where your body is and what your body's telling you that day. Inhale. Exhale, right arm comes back up tall. We'll send that right leg back out. Unbend the right knee, and we'll move to the other side.
It's a lot of right and left.
It is a lot of right and left. Good thing there's not 3 different sides to go to.
I know, I'd never do it.
So now the right leg is out at 45 degrees. The left knee is bent. Again, you can place something under the left knee to bring the floor closer. Left sole of the foot into the right inner thigh. There's a lot of lymphatic tissue in there, so that helps to stimulate that. Inhale, arm sweep up tall. Take a slight twist to the right, and on your exhale, find your forward fold. Inhale. Exhale, bringing your knee and your forehead close to one another. You can bend your knees should you choose here. Flexing the toes back. Shoulders are nice and even. Pressing the left knee into the floor, that will help to open that left adductor muscle. Final couple of breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, breaks the posture, arms sweep up tall. We'll take that left knee, bend it the opposite direction, bringing the left heel towards the glute. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, let's take that right hand to the outside of the right foot. Left arm sweeps up towards the ceiling. We'll hold there to begin. And then if you're comfortable here, you can begin to sunset that left arm over the left ear. Hold here. And then if you're comfortable here and you have it in your practice, you can begin to go for the left foot with the left hand, maybe beginning to turn the chest up towards the ceiling, gazing towards the ceiling through that opening. Beautiful. Very nice. Very nice, everyone. Inhale. Left side body opening here, those intercostal muscles, the muscles between the ribs, lengthening and stretching. That helps with your breath as well, because the more flexible and elongated those intercostal muscles become, the more your ribs can expand on your inhalation, allowing your lungs to fill to maximum capacity. Final breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale breaks the posture. Both legs come out long. You'll face this way. Let's sweep the arms out long. And on a count of 5, we're going to make our way to our backs for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Arms come to the side. Bridge pose. Bend the knees. Knees facing the ceiling. Knees are hip width apart. can you touch the back of your heels with your fingers? That's where you want to be going. You might not be able to get there, but if you can, that's great. We're going to move into bridge pose. This is a back bend. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, press down into the soles of the feet, press down into the shoulders, lift your hips up tall to the ceiling. So you're pressing your hips into the ceiling. You're making an imprint of the front of your hips into the ceiling. If you have enough room under your back, you can bring your hands together and use your triceps to help push up. Now, something that happens here a lot, knees have a tendency to flare out. So, bring the knees in. You want to engage those adductor muscles. Sometimes I have people put a block between their knees doing bridge pose to press in. Inhale. Exhale, lower. We'll move next into either shoulder stand or waterfall. They're both inversions. You're going to do what? Shoulder stand. All right, so Amelia's going to go into shoulder stand. So inhale, exhale, inhale lifts you up into shoulder stand. I'm going to go into waterfall. I'm going to use a block here. So in waterfall, I'll be lifting my legs up, but I'm resting on I have a pillow, or you could have a block. Amelia is resting on her shoulders. Both are equally effective. If you have plow posture, you can move into plow posture. Watch the wall behind you. We don't have a lot of room here. If you're in plow posture and you have access to dead man's pose, bringing your knees to the outside of your ears, feel free to go there. And then make your way back to shoulder stand. Hold here for a final count. And then slower than you would like, begin to bring the feet out long. Toes flared, heels together, palms at your side. If there is anything that you need to do or you choose to do to seal your own personal practice, now would be the time to do so. Otherwise, you can begin to make your way into our final posture of today's practice, Shavasana. It's the asana where all the good stuff happens. Thanking yourself for the last 60 minutes of hard work, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. The realization of the increase in circulatory flow, lymphatic flow, nervous system activation. You're at heightened awareness. And now you're going into the third and final phase of our practice today. We began with pranayama, breathing. And we took the bulk of our practice with our asanas, the postures. And now we move into rest and recuperation and regeneration, Shavasana. Relax your feet. Relax your legs. Relax your hips. Relax your belly. Relax your chest. Relax your fingers, relax your hands, relax your wrists. Relax your arms, relax your shoulders. Relax your neck. Relax your jaw. Relax your face, relax your forehead. Relax your crown. Relax your mind. Begin to allow consciousness and awareness to return to your bodies. If you'd like to wiggle your toes and fingers, shake your head yes and no. And then if you'd like, you can extend your arms above your head, taking a final stretch, clasping your hands together, and then rolling on to your right side, fetal position. And then making your way to an easy seated posture or half lotus or full lotus, wherever your body takes you. Every yoga posture is a combination of strength, flexibility, technique, breath, focus, and awareness. As you become more proficient in a given posture, the nature of the work it requires of you changes. There will be times when you are working predominantly on strength, times when you are working on flexibility, and times when a posture is all about the breath. There may even come a time when all that physical stuff is secondary, and you will be working with your awareness and focus primarily. Everyone must go through their own process when learning each asana, and everyone's process will be different. Trust yourself and trust the process. David Keel. If you would like to join Amelia and I in a practice sealing Om, feel free to do so. If you choose not to, that is okay. You can just bathe in our vibration. We'll take one deep cleansing breath and then a second inhale and exhale to Om. Inhale. Inhale. As we take our thumb knuckles between our eyebrows to our third eye and take a slight bow towards one another, the light in us honors the light in each of you. We thank you as always for allowing us to be your guide in our practice together today. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you for joining us today, and we will see you next time. Peace.